Imagine waking up to the sound of church bells in a charming Italian village surrounded by rolling hills and ancient olive groves. Now picture this. The local government is actually paying you to live there. It sounds too good to be true, but in some parts of Italy, it's becoming a reality. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Picture this. A charming Italian town where the population has plummeted from 13,000 to just 7,000 in less than a century. This isn't a fictional scenario, but the reality facing Prisaqua, a small town that exemplifies Italy's demographic crisis. Across the country, similar stories are unfolding, with many towns and villages grappling with dwindling populations and the challenges that come with it. The issue at hand is more than just empty streets and abandoned houses. It's a complex problem that threatens the very fabric of Italian society. As younger generations flock to urban centers in search of opportunities, rural areas are left with an aging population. This exodus creates a domino effect. Fewer residents mean reduced local spending, which in turn leads to a decline in services and amenities. The result? A cycle of economic stagnation that's hard to break. But the impact isn't limited to rural areas. Urban centers, while attracting younger residents, face their own set of challenges. The influx of people puts pressure on housing and infrastructure, while rural areas struggle to maintain basic services. It's a balancing act that's becoming increasingly difficult to manage. Alfredo Pes, a local council member in Prisaqua, paints a vivid picture of the situation. It's heartbreaking to witness these beautiful architectural structures falling into decay, he says, referring to the many abandoned houses built before 1991. His words capture the emotional toll of this demographic shift, highlighting the cultural heritage at stake. So, what's being done about this? Well, that's where things get interesting. The Italian government, recognizing the urgency of the situation, is taking a creative approach. They're not just sitting back and watching their towns wither away. Instead, they're launching initiatives that might sound too good to be true, paying people to move to Italy. What if I told you that right now you could buy a house in Italy for just $16? That's about the same price as a bottle of water in the US. But before you start packing your bags, there's more to this story than meets the eye. Welcome to Prisaqua Paligna, a charming Italian town that's making headlines with its incredibly affordable housing offers. This isn't just a one-off deal. It's part of a broader strategy across Italy to revitalize struggling communities. From the sun-drenched streets of Sicily to the rolling hills of Tuscany, and towns are rolling out the red carpet for newcomers with offers that seem too good to be true. But how did these programs stack up against the cost of living in other countries? Well, consider this. While you might struggle to rent a closet-sized apartment in New York City for less than $2,000 a month, in Italy, you could find yourself paying between $330 to $550 for a comfortable place to call home. It's a stark contrast that's making many people reconsider their living situations. The incentives don't stop at cheap housing. Some towns are sweetening the deal with cash bonuses. Take Prisaqua, for example. This picturesque town is offering new residents a whopping $31,800 to make the move. It's part of their plan to breathe new life into a community that's seen its population shrink from 13,000 to just 7,000 over the past century. But what's it really like to take the plunge? Well, the experiences vary. Danny McCubbin, a British citizen, found himself in hot water when renovation costs for his $1 house exceeded his budget, forcing him to sell at a loss. On the flip side, Jose Ramos from Milton Keynes is thriving. Thanks to his Italian language skills, he's not only renovated his property successfully, but is now eyeing more purchases. Now, You might be wondering about the catch. Well, there are a few things to consider. In Pratola Polinia, for instance, you'll need to submit a detailed renovation plan within 6 months of purchase. Fail to do so, and you could face a hefty $10,800 fine. But unlike some other towns, Pratola Polinia doesn't require a security deposit, making the initial investment more accessible. So, how do you throw your hat in the ring? The application process varies by town, but generally, you'll need to provide proof of financial stability, a solid renovation plan, and sometimes a commitment to living in the town for a certain period. It's not just about filling empty houses. These towns are looking for people who will actively contribute to reviving their communities. As we wrap up this section, you might be wondering what daily life looks like in these charming Italian towns. Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore next. From the local cuisine to the community spirit, get ready for a glimpse into the lifestyle that could be awaiting you in your new Italian home. Picture this. You're sipping espresso at a sun-drenched piazza, chatting with neighbors who've quickly become friends. Sounds idyllic, right? But here's the twist. Your new Italian paradise might challenge everything you thought you knew about modern living. Are you ready to discover why some expats thrive while others struggle to adjust? Life in a small Italian town is a far cry from the hustle and bustle of city living. Instead of rushing through crowded subway stations, you might find yourself strolling through cobblestone streets to the local market. The pace is slower, more deliberate. Community activities and traditional festivals become the heartbeat of your social life, offering a sense of belonging that's often hard to find in urban jungles. But adapting to this new culture isn't always a smooth ride. Language barriers can be a real challenge, especially in rural areas where English might not be widely spoken. You'll need to embrace the local customs, from the sacred afternoon siesta to the art of preparing and enjoying long leisurely meals. When it comes to amenities and services, you might be pleasantly surprised. Healthcare in Italy is provided through the Servizio Sanitario Nazionale, offering high-quality services at remarkably low costs. In fact, healthcare expenses account for only about 9.5% of GDP, significantly lower than in countries like the United States. Public schools are free and generally of high quality, often rivaling private institutions. However, be prepared for potential differences in infrastructure. While urban areas typically enjoy good broadband access, rural regions might still rely on slower internet connections, which could impact remote work possibilities. For many expats, the sense of community in these small towns is a major draw. Local residents often welcome newcomers with open arms, inviting them to participate in town events and customs. This integration can lead to deep, lasting friendships and a genuine feeling of belonging. Success stories abound among those who've made the leap. Many expats have found joy in renovating old homes, learning the language, and immersing themselves in the local culture. They often share their experiences through blogs and social media, providing valuable insights for potential newcomers. As we wrap up this glimpse into small-town Italian life, you might be wondering about the practicalities of making such a move. What are the common concerns that hold people back? And how can you determine if this opportunity is right for you? Let's explore these questions in our next section. Is that $1 house in Italy really a bargain, or could it end up costing you more than you ever imagined? While the idea of living in a picturesque Italian village sounds like a dream come true, it's important to recognize that this opportunity isn't for everyone. Let's take a closer look at the pros and cons of making such a life-changing move. On the plus side, Italy offers an unparalleled quality of life. Imagine waking up to stunning landscapes, savoring delicious cuisine, and immersing yourself in a rich cultural heritage. The cost of living can be significantly lower than in many other countries, especially in rural areas. For instance, renting a medium-sized apartment in Italy can cost between $600 to $1,800 per month, depending on the location. The country's healthcare system is also highly regarded, with the national healthcare system providing services at low or no cost to residents. However, the reality of moving to Italy can be quite different from the romantic notion many people have. Renovation costs for those $1 houses can often exceed the initial purchase price, sometimes leading to significant financial losses. Language barriers can be a major challenge, especially in rural areas where English is less commonly spoken. Navigating the complex Italian bureaucracy can be daunting without local assistance, and cultural differences may take time to adjust to. The financial requirements for moving to Italy are another important consideration. For non-EU citizens, the elective residency visa requires proof of an annual income between $30,000 and $38,000. Alternatively, the Italian investment visa demands a minimum investment of $500,000 and proof of an annual income of $100,000, which can be reduced to $35,000 with significant property investment. Long-term implications of such a move are also worth considering. While these programs may temporarily boost population numbers in struggling towns, the sustainability of such growth depends on the ability of new residents to integrate and contribute to the local economy. Success stories often involve individuals who were proactive in learning the language and understanding local customs. Ultimately, this opportunity might be best suited for adventurous souls with a genuine interest in Italian culture, retirees looking for a change of pace, or those with the financial means to weather unexpected challenges. It's crucial to approach this decision with a realistic mindset, thorough research, and a willingness to embrace a new way of life. Italy's innovative approach to its population challenges offers a unique chance for those seeking adventure and a lifestyle change. These programs not only provide opportunities for individuals, but also hold the potential to revitalize entire communities. As Alfredo Pes, a local council member, points out, we want to see them come back to life with new residents. This sentiment captures the heart of Italy's efforts to breathe new life into its charming towns and villages. If you've ever dreamed of living in Italy, now might be the perfect time to turn that dream into reality. Take some time to research the specific programs available in different regions. Consider how this opportunity aligns with your personal goals and aspirations. Could you see yourself renovating a historic home, learning Italian, and becoming part of a close-knit community? As we look to the future, Italy's approach raises intriguing questions about the role of international migration in revitalizing communities. Could this model be applied to other countries facing similar challenges? The success of these initiatives could reshape our understanding of population dynamics and community renewal on a global scale.